YouTube, what is going on? Crowder here, bringing you guys a ranked play guide video, and this one is going to be hotel spawns. This is going to be a general spawn knowledge video. We are not going in depth of why this guy spawned 5 feet to the left instead of 5 feet to the right, or what's going on with this, or setting up super spawn traps or anything like that. I am just going to explain the general spawn points on hotel hardpoint, and also just so you guys can see how they break down, and some blocking and some manipulation here and there, but that is it. And then hopefully this helps you kind of just find more kills on the map and just not be as lost when you're playing ranked play. So if this video does help you, make sure you guys drop a like and stuff, and I'll be doing this on all the hard points and all that. So let's get right into it. First hill is going to be P1 on this hotel. I just took a random gameplay from the CDL. This is a Vegas versus Atlanta FaZe match. Very, very simple stuff. Don't worry about any of the scoreboards or anything like that. The only thing that you should be worried about is this mini map right here. Okay, so for P1, there are 4 main spawn points that you really have to know about. Everything else could be a little wacky sometimes, but these 4, if you know them, will kind of get you through ranked play, and you'll kind of start adapting more and more as you learn. So the first spawn point is going to be the kitchen spawn. The other spawn point will be the bedroom spawn. And then you have like a P2 and like chandelier spawn over here. And that would be like P2, bedroom, chandelier, and clock spawn, like this area. And then the kitchen spawn. And those are like the 4 spawn points that you're really gonna like want to see. So skipping forward to the first opening break, the 2 red arrows die right there, and you can see that they're gonna start spawning like the kitchen area, which is that major spawn point. Since they're spawning kitchen, that means they're most likely blocking kitchen since they're in that area. That is going to force the white arrows or the Vegas arrows to probably start spawning bedroom or P2. And now since they die, they're getting that bedroom spawn, and as you watch this hill flow out, you can see that the red arrows are mainly spawning kitchen and the white arrows are mainly spawning bedroom. Now, that could obviously be a subject to change depending on how the red arrows or the people who are on your team are manipulating the spawns and blocking the spawns. And I'm going to show you some more examples. So here are some more examples that are going to change it up a little bit. So you can see right now, you have red arrows blocking the bedroom spawn for the most part, and then the Vegas arrows blocking the kitchen spawn. So depending on who dies first and who's going to be coming off of spawn and stuff, as you can see right now, Abizi would be coming off spawn. He is the dead player, which is number 3. That red arrow is going to have to spawn somewhere. He's most likely going to spawn either kitchen or maybe bedroom, because right here you have the white arrows, which are Vegas, blocking the P2 and chandelier spawns. The one thing that you'll catch on to pretty quickly is if you were basically not in that kitchen, you were not really blocking that spawn. So you're going to see here, as this map is flowing, Abizi, which is number 3, will spawn right behind the guy that was kind of blocking kitchen but not fully blocking it. And as confusing as that can be, the more you play the game and the more you just kind of realize how the spawns work, you'll kind of start getting the hang of it. It's not the best spawn system, but you can definitely predict it and understand it. You can see that Abizi is now spawning kitchen, and now that he is spawning kitchen and now he's in kitchen blocking it, the person that is coming off of spawn, which would be temp, is going to have to spawn somewhere, and he would either be spawning bedroom, but since number 4 is kind of blocking bedroom by being in that area of the map, it would most likely be either in the P2 area or the clock area. So when you were playing this map and you were communicating to your teammates, what you should be doing is saying, yo, I spawned kitchen, they're spawning bedroom or P2, right? That would be like your comm. If number 4 was on your team and he has good communication too, he'd be like, no, I'm blocking bedroom. If I'm blocking bedroom and you're blocking kitchen, they're 100% spawning P2 and clock. So that's kind of how you start to narrow down where people are coming from on the map with communication. And that's why communication is so important, to really pinpoint those spawns of where the enemy team is coming from. And as you can see, if you let this flow out again, the more the spawns open up and stuff, the more you're going to see people spawn and everything. So you can see now that the kitchen spawn is opened up again, the white arrows are going to start spawning towards the kitchen area, and no one's near the bedroom, so then the red arrows are going to start spawning towards the bedroom. So you can see the main spawn points and how they're working right there. All right, so right here, you're going to watch me spawn up, and I'm going to explain to you exactly like what I think when I spawn. So in this very moment, I spawn, and the first thing you should always do is look up to your left mini-map, and you're going to see that Vickle spawned right here to my right. So we're spawning P2 and clock, which means they're either blocking the bedroom spawn, that's the reason why we didn't spawn there, or they're spawning kitchen. And obviously, if they're spawning kitchen, they're blocking that too, so we didn't spawn kitchen either. So my call out is either they're going to be bedroom or kitchen, probably most likely kitchen in this scenario, just you never know. Obviously, you have no 100% idea until you get more communication out of your teammates. And so I'm going to start pushing left to cut off the bedroom since there's only 25 seconds left. And I'm going to try and obviously make sure we secure no one getting through that left side of the map. But then Vickle dies and calls out that there's 2 people on the right. So now I'm going to go pick up this right side of the map. I'm going to get 1 kill. I'm going to get 2 kills. And now since I'm still blocking this area of the map and we just got a 3rd kill, I'm now going to be saying they're spawning either kitchen or bedroom. And now we just spawned on the right side of the map. So if you keep looking at the mini map, they should be coming from the bedroom side, or they just respawned kitchen. So now we're going to see here, I'm holding this area. I'm clearing this. Now I don't see anything spawning bedroom. So now I relay the information that they're not spawning bedroom. They are spawning kitchen. They should be coming from the right side of the map. And that is exactly how you kind of just like work with your kills and you kind of understand like what's actually going on. So you can see that I'm holding the left. There's nothing on the left. All these kills that we're getting are either spawning if I'm blocking the left spawn or I'm seeing bedroom, right? If I'm getting rid of that bedroom, right? I'm eliminating that. They would either be spawning P2 or clock. Our guy in the mini-map right here is blocking that. So where are they spawning? They're spawning kitchen. So here I'm saying they're spawning kitchen, they're spawning kitchen. And then as soon as the P2 spawns up, an entire different spawn system happens for that hill specifically. So that's kind of how that works in that play. So hopefully that like kind of helps you understand a little bit of what's going on. And now I'm going to move over to a P2 situation just to help you out. All right, so now for P2 and in general, you're going to see the major spawn points for this one will be the back left spa over here. It will be the back right fire trucks or back hole in the wall spawn. You're going to have like the chandelier and like store spawn over here or like the clock spawn over here, whatever you call it. And then you're going to have your bedroom spawn. Those are going to be like the 4 major spawns you're really going to work with. And depending again, how they're getting manipulated and what's going on and what spawns are open, you're going to kind of see how people spawn there. So for example, if you let this situation right here play out, number 8 is the first one to die. Now, number 8 is the first one to die, which means he's going to be the first person to come off spawn. That's common sense. But since no one on the red team or the red hours are blocking any of the back spawns, it's easy. Number 8 is going to spawn back spa or back fire trucks. And you're going to see right now he's going to spawn back fire trucks right here. And that's very, very common. And as this play develops on P2, you're going to start to see that the breaks coming in from the left side and those 2 kills go down. And now you can see here, this is where like you can start kind of understanding spawns more. And hopefully this helps you. Simp and Abizi are the first 2 people to die here. So therefore, they're going to be the first 2 people to spawn up in the sequence. If anyone else dies, like obviously next. So you're going to see like right here, before anyone else dies, Simp and Abizi died, and then Clayster and 2Real died. So Simp's going to spawn first, then Abizi, then Clayster, then 2Real, and then this is Slasher right here, then Slasher. So if you count the spawns and you see like how this is all working, Simp and Abizi are dead. Since they died first and trades went down, before anyone has spawned up, Simp and Abizi are going to have to spawn somewhere. And since the back spawns are now completely wide open, more of the spa spawn being open than the truck spawn because this guy's over here, most likely the first guy to spawn is probably going to spawn in the back of obviously spa. And you're going to see right here, Simp is going to spawn in the back fire truck right there. And that's going to make sense just because that opened up and that the Vegas players died before any of their teammates spawned up. It's going to cause them to obviously get flipped out just because of how the kills went down, and that's how it's going to work. And if you keep letting it develop, there's going to be more spawn points in the back. Again, these spawn points are open. Realistically, number 3 should probably spawn with number 2, but we're not going to go deep into this spawn system because again, I'm not going there right now. I'm going to do everything in my power not to. All right, so now as this play develops, you can see that number 2 is blocking the spa spawn, which is one of the spawns. Number 3 is basically blocking that back right spawn, which is the other back spawn. So now the Vegas players, the next 2 people, Clayster and 2Real, that are going to be coming off spawn, have 2 places to spawn. It would either be the chandelier and store spawn or the bedroom spawn. So if you watch this develop right here, it is going to be that they spawn like the chandelier and like middle spawn, which is like over here. Obviously with this, either Atlanta FaZe would be spawning again in the back left or bedroom. And you can see that one spawns bedroom. Now, this is not the best spawn system in the world. And this is just, again, to show you how the spawn system works and just where the spawns are. But that's how the P2 spawns work on this map. And again, as you keep watching this develop, you're going to keep seeing people come off spawn and where they're spawning from. You can see Atlanta FaZe is now going to be spawning bedroom because they're blocking the back. They're also kind of blocking, like, you know, they have more influence on this side. So Atlanta FaZe is going to be heavily spawning bedroom. And obviously, they're going to be calling that out and funneling us bedroom spawn. So here for the P2 scenario, I'm going to be coming off spawn with 43 seconds left. And I'm going to be spawning back left of the hill back spa. And like I just explained to you guys, you have your back spa spawn, your back fire truck spawn, your farther out right spawn, and obviously your farther out left spawn. That's what I was kind of just getting with you guys. So I spawn back left here at spa, and I call out, I'm spawning back spa, I'm spawning back spa. If they're spawning bedroom or left side, I'm going to go pick that up. I know he can't really be coming from the right because I have a teammate on the right, and obviously he spawned back there. They could be spawning far right, potentially, since it's open, but I'm going to tell my teammates what I'm spawning and what I'm about to do for them. And I'm going to pick up the left side. Now that I'm picking up the left side, I get the guy that spawned bedroom. I'm able to look to my left and get that kill. And all that kill was spawn knowledge of what I just showed you on that mini map. So again, as I spawn up here, the spawn knowledge is they're either spawning left side bedroom or obviously on that far right that I just showed you. So I get the kills, and as the kills are going down, I know that these kills that we just got, they're going to be either spawning to my left or obviously far right since we're blocking the back and stuff. I'm going to give a quick look to my left to make sure they didn't spawn there. I catch that guy on my screen, and that knowledge and that awareness is going to allow me to pre-aim and get this easy kill because I knew where that guy was coming off of spawn. And that is exactly how you relay this information to kind of get you more kills and have some more awareness around the map. All right, so now that we're on P3, you're going to see that the major spawn points really are the front spawns, which a lot of people say, yo, they're spawning out front. They're spawning out front. They mean the dub spawns or the front spawns. It's going to be this area in general right here by the dub arch and clock and all the chandelier stuff. That's going to be like your main front spawn. And then your main back spawn, or obviously your back patio or back parking lot spawn, is going to be kind of like where number 7 is. It's going to be like this back area in general over here. And then there's a weird mid spawn sometimes, which is like mid couches that happens too. And that kind of throws your timings off. But if you know it's coming, then sometimes you'll be prepared for it, especially if you spawn patio. So we're going to let this play out and develop here, and you're going to see some kills go down. So right here, as Vegas is trying to block the back patio, and obviously Atlanta FaZe is coming from the front, and no one on Vegas is blocking the front. Atlanta FaZe is most likely going to be spawning front right here. These red arrows spawning front. And after some kills go down here, again, still spawning front, the major spawn, pretty, you know, common sense stuff. As these kills go down, you're going to start seeing now the arrows on the white team, which is Vegas. They're going to have to start spawning somewhere too. If Atlanta FaZe is spawning out front, what's going to happen next is this guy's going to spawn in the back or the patio. He's going to say, yo, I spawned in the back. They're all probably coming from front. I'm going to pick up your middle and rotate to the hill. This guy is going to be, you know, spawning here, and this guy spawns patio. So they get like this back patio weird spawn here. They're going to know that most likely the other players on Atlanta FaZe are spawning front, and that weird couch spawn that happened again, like number 1, this spawns middle away from his team. Again, it's kind of weird sometimes depending what's open, but again, these are just general stuff. So again, if you're spawning in the back patio of this P3 hill, you know that your main lane to pick up is most likely going to either be like this middle lane here, or obviously this front lane here. And then again, that just makes sense just depending on how the spawns work. So we're going to show you one more sequence of kills here just to show you kind of how it works. Again, since the white arrows are kind of coming from the back and they're kind of blocking the back by being on this side, they're going to either most likely spawn in the back here in general, or in this little couches spawn here. And since they're spawning couches the middle, they're either going to obviously be forced to rotate since the end of the hill, or they're going to keep spawning there. So right here, if you're the FaZe team and you get the old scrap time, you're saying, yo, they're spawning bedroom or middle. They're going to be rotating the new. If you're spawning clock, you're obviously going to be rotating the new. So now you know that you're probably going to catch these guys spawning either middle or parking lot. They're probably going to take this route to P4, which is the next hill over here. They're going to take this route. You're going to kind of have to run into them head on here. And obviously, these are the rotational gunfights that are very important. Okay, so now moving to a P3 example, you can see that I'm about to die and spawn up. And you can see right now I have 2 people in the P3 and 1 person middle. So we just talked about the P3 spawns. You have that weird middle spawn. You have that really far out clock spawn, which is the front spawn, and then that patio spawn. So depending where I'm about to come off a spawn, I'm going to spawn middle. So now they can either be technically to my left patio, or most likely out clock. So there could be like one guy patio and probably the rest of them clock with all the kills that we're getting. So you're going to see that I'm taking the chance that there's no one patio. There's most likely not, because that middle spawn happens a lot too, just even without them blocking that. And I'm saying they're probably spawning out front clock. So now I'm going to go try and take this route to pinch the front and try and come around and find these people. As you can see, that I'm going to run up behind this guy because that guy spawned front, and I just kind of just took that pinch route off the spawn. And now I'm going to turn around again and push this out. And as you can see here now too, our team starts spawning out in the front, which means there was actually probably a guy to my left patio that came off a spawn. Since I spawned out and this guy spawns front, that guy relays the information to me in my head that now they're spawning back patio. So now I know exactly where these people are going to be coming from. They're going to be coming from patio through this side door, and that's exactly where this player on the other team is. I get shit on right there, but still I have an idea of where to look and where they're coming from at all times, all through the minimap and the spawn system. Okay, so here we are on P4, and we're going to show you some spawn points here. So basically the major spawns are going to be like the bedroom spawn. You have your back spa and like this back area, like back spa and P2 spawns. Those are like your 2 main ones. And then you have also like this like middle area / store that you can kind of spawn out a little bit farther towards the middle of the map as well. So you're going to see here as this play develops right here, Vegas gets a clean 4 dead and we all go down. So now we're going to probably most likely be getting the front bedroom spawn because they have the back blocked by having number 5 and people coming from spa. They have the middle really far pushed out, and now this guy being really far pushed out is going to be kind of blocking like this middle store area too. But since he is so far pressured up and they have so many people looking at bedroom too, this spawn point is technically open with him taking this extra route, and it's going to kind of spawn someone behind him. Again, that's like the weird stuff that happens when you're playing ranked and all that stuff. But in general, your main spawns are going to be bedroom and in the back in this area over here, which would be like the 3rd spawn. But here, so you can keep watching this develop, and you're going to see that they have us called out. They're spawning bedroom. This guy spots the guy that spawns out. They clean that guy up. And again, you're going to be like spawning bedroom and you're getting that weird couches spawn. And it's going to be kind of a flood fest over and over from the front as this guy is pushing middle. And you can see this is very simple. Again, since number 7 just died middle, but they have the back. He's going to be spawning back spa area. He's going to flood the hill. The red arrows are going to be still spawning bedroom since no one's blocking it. And it's going to kind of just be like that flood fest to the hill unless obviously things change. And yeah, that's basically P4. This one's a really simple one. Again, a lot of the times, if you're doing this right and you are blocking the back and the front, then you can spawn them really far out, like over here on this area of the map. But just in general for rank play, bedroom spawns is one spawn. The back spawn, or like this back area in general, is the second spawn. And that's exactly what you're really going to have to worry about depending on it. Sometimes you obviously can get that weird couch spawn, but for the most part, you're going to be calling out where you spawn and then like where they should be coming from and spawning. So that's P4. All right, so here's a good P4 example of what you guys can do if you're obviously in the game. So you can see right now, if you read the mini map, I have a player that just spawned bedroom with me. We have a player that's kind of contesting the hill, a player like out towards like the main desk area. So we can see that this player just came from spa and he's contesting the hill. And even though he like kind of came from spa and we're kind of spawning bedroom, most likely they're still spawning in the back with that player since there's only one back there. So with the kills that we're getting, you can see that I'm like looking middle to make sure they didn't get that weird middle spawn like out store and like kind of take a long route. And every kill that we get, we're spawning them spot because we have one guy in the hill, one guy front hill here. I'm here and we were spawning bedroom. So that means they're spawning back right spa or back left in the middle right there in their back side of the spawn. So you can see right now I'm looking around and I'm going to actually take this fight off spawn and ego chalet. And again, I know he's probably going to be there 100% of the time because of the relayed information from my teammates' communication and the mini-map of where they're actually pushing. So now we know exactly where they're spawning. I lose that gunfight, but again, there's another one back there and I was correct of where they're coming from. So you can kind of just see how it all flows in your mind the more and more you play and the more and more you actually know the spawns. All right, so now that we're on P5, here are the major spawns for this one. Again, this hill can definitely get a little weird sometimes depending on like what you have pushed out and stuff, but the general stuff is you're going to have your main kitchen spawn, and then you're going to have your main clock spawn or chandelier spawn. You can spawn dub arch, you can spawn middle, and you can spawn like middle patio. Like you can get a weird middle spawn too, depending on like what is blocked and what is not. But for the most part, if you watch this kind of just play out, as you're kind of going from both sides here, you can see that both teams are obviously, attempting to push. The red number 3 player right there dies. As he dies and then someone else dies, they're going to be spawning kitchen because no one's really blocking it, obviously, on Vegas. So we're going to be spawning kitchen, and as you spawn, you say, yo, I'm spawning kitchen. They're obviously coming from clock. And then as the Vegas players die or the white arrows die, you're going to see this happen right here, that they're going to start spawning either dub arch or over here, which is going to be right here over by the clock spawn. And again, you're just going to keep flooding the hill, and depending on how the kills go down, it's going to continuously happen over and over and over again. So right now, the Vegas is obviously they're trying to hold their hill. We get a few kills, they get a few kills, and now we're going to watch some people spawn. So they're spawning out a little deeper here, and sometimes these spawns do happen, but this general area, again, if you spawn in kitchen, you're saying, yo, they're spawning out clock. And if they're spawning out clock, they're either going to have the choice to either rotate to the left, obviously for the next hill, or flood the old hill. And you can see that now that it's kind of winding down for rotation, people are going to start rotating and playing it differently. But again, you can see that in general, you're either spawning like kitchen or like this middle area, or clock in like this middle area here, and it's kind of just like a flood fest over and over again. So the more kills you get and the more knowledge you have in your brain of where they could be, it will help you get kills while you're in the moment, and you'll kind of keep learning and learning as like, the time goes on. Okay, so here's a good P5 example. I just died and I'm coming off a spawn. I am spawning clock in front. And remember, I was just explaining on this P5 that you can kind of spawn like in the middle main or on this like clock area. This is like the main spawn, and then the other spawn would be like kitchen or middle, right? So if I'm spawning here, I'm saying that they're obviously, they're blocking kitchen, they're coming from kitchen. We didn't get any kills, so no one on their team's coming off spawn yet. I get this kill. I am now relaying that guy is probably going to start spawning kitchen, right? So now I'm going to, be playing my life, and we're doing all this thing. We're pinching for middle. If we're pinching for middle, we're probably blocking middle, right? We're obviously coming from this area too, so we're probably blocking that area. So that guy that I just killed and this guy that Secret just killed is 100% going to be spawning kitchen. So now if we get these kills, what am I going to look at? I'm going to look towards the kitchen area to make sure that we are holding it down. And you can see that Secret just pushed this area, which is towards the kitchen side, and actually spawn killed them kitchen because we were spawning clock, and he realized that if we're spawning clock, they're spawning kitchen. I'm going to run at kitchen now, get some easy kills. Now, since he's in kitchen and potentially blocking it by being in there, I turn around to make sure that they don't spawn behind us because we're blocking that spawn, which is very, very possible as well. And I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happens. We actually do spawn them behind us, and they come from behind us. So again, all the awareness is all just knowing where your teammates are what they're blocking, and then since those kills that you just got, where would they be spawning off of that? All right, and for the last and final hill is the P6. So the major spawns for P6 are going to be like over here by the kitchen, like this like back area by the kitchen, right? That's number one. Then you have like this P4 or main spawn, like these like two like pretty far out spawns. And if for some reason you are blocking like the main or the middle spawn, like you can also spawn like a little closer middle, I'll explain this in a second, you'll spawn really deep out P4. And now obviously that just depends on what you're blocking and whatnot. So if you let this play develop here, you're going to see that some kills go down, and it gets a little weird, obviously, depending on who dies. So since Celium died first, you're going to see that Celium needs to spawn in first. But since number 7 is kind of blocking that kitchen or that back spawn, Celium's going to be forced to spawn somewhere, obviously, out. So you can't spawn anywhere other than the back or the middle. And since number 7's kind of blocking the back, Celium's going to be forced to spawn out in the middle. So he spawns out like this middle main area. And since now he spawned out this middle main area and he's still blocking the back, number 4 is also blocking the back. So they're contesting this back spawn to each other. The only area that the white arrows really have to spawn are going to be really deep P4, like I was just explaining. So now you're going to see that Vegas spawns really, really deep P4. And that is because these two are contesting the back spawn. So that spawn is basically canceled right now. And now we spawned in first, so we got the closer middle spawn. And since we got that closer middle spawn, we're blocking that spawn. This spawn's getting blocked and contested, so now they have to spawn really, really far out deep. So right here, you can see it kind of gets a little weird with all those spawns happening. And again, that's why the spawn system's not perfect. But when it starts to get a little bit more cleaned up and we finally kill the guy that's contesting that back spawn, you're going to see that number 3 is now going to spawn back here. And they're going to start getting that close-up middle spawn, like that main/front spawn, because there's no one blocking that as well. When things start getting contested, that's when you have to start doing more prediction and more communication with your team of where they're actually spawning, and to know on how to play when you're actually coming off spawn and what to communicate. So you can see now as this is going on, we're not really blocking that front P4 spawn. They have yet to contest the back yet. They're about to. So it's going to cause some weird stuff to happen. But that's how that kind of all works. And since number 6 didn't actually fully contest and like push in the kitchen and contest it, we were still able to spawn there in time before he does so. And of course, now we have this spawn block still. And then since we're blocking the back, they're going to obviously have to spawn out front again. So they're going to be spawning out pretty far front. So that's P6 in a nutshell. That one's pretty easy to understand. Obviously, it can get a little weird when things start getting contested, but the more you play, the more you'll pick up on this. And especially if you watch these videos, this will help you understand. I do not die too much in this hill until like halfway through it, but you can see that we are blocking this back kitchen spawn on that P6 that I was just telling you about. So they're most likely spawning either like that closer middle or that back P4 spawn. So you're going to see me take some routes here towards the middle to make sure they're not middle. I don't see anything middle. Now I'm going to start flooding. We are calling out that we are spawning kitchen. So they're obviously probably spawning for like that closer P4 middle area. So now I'm going to now test the hill by hopping up and doing this play right here, just because I know they're going to be flooding the hill from the front because I know where they're spawning. Now, those two people that just died, right? And that person that just died, that's 3 dead on their team. Depending on where I spawn, that would be the 4th. I spawn middle patio and we're kind of blocking the back. Depending on exactly where this guy is on my mini map, they should be spawning out deep P4. So you notice I take a quick turnaround just to make sure they're not behind me in kitchen or any weird spawns. And then as soon as I take this big turnaround, I go back towards the middle of the map, and now we have them all cut. I confirm in this scenario that I spawn patio in the back. I check the back just in case. They're not spawning here. They are all spawning out in that deep 4 spawn that I just showed you, and we know exactly where they are and exactly what we need to do. And as my team is getting kills, since we're getting all these kills, I'm just going to keep blocking this spawn while I can, so they can just keep spawning out consistently and over again. And then obviously I can play for this trade middle. So you can see how that all kind of flows in real time, obviously from my actual first person point of view. And hopefully that kind of helps you relate the information. So that is basically Hardpoint on Hotel in a nutshell. I tried to keep that as simple as I could, but also give you some good insight on certain scenarios, just because I'm a super nerd about this stuff and I love this stuff. I can talk about spawns forever, dude. I really can. And I tried to keep it as simple, and also there's so many other things that I can go deep down, maybe in some future YouTube videos, who knows. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If it does help you out, again, leave a like and comment and all that stuff, and I will see you guys on the next Hardpoint spawn video if you guys like this one. Peace out.